This has to be one of the cruelest videos that I have ever seen on the internet. So let's watch it together and see if we can analyze what's going on.
I'm getting virgin vibes.
Yeah.
Like, it's the baby face.
Now, in my perfect society, when talking about attraction, complaining about someone's appearance would be 100% allowed. But it would cut both ways. While women would be able to complain that a man doesn't have the correct jawline, the correct height, or has a baby face, a man would also be able to point out that she's morbidly obese. Or that her tits aren't too big. But this is why people hate my utopia. They hate my society. So we don't live in that. We live in the society of safetyism, where you're not supposed to articulate on the appearance of a person. And yet this lady is doing. I would also like to mention that a person can be ugly. They can even be disfigured. And they can be a very wholesome individual, a very productive member of society, a perfect employee. These things have nothing to do with attractiveness. Like, attractiveness only gets applied in the context of dating and seeking a significant other. So you can be an attractive person that's an asshole and a piece of shit, but you can also be a person that's unattractive but very kind, compassionate, and nice individual. I mean, The Hunchback of Notre Dame literally treats these themes. Should watch the Disney movie. It's really great. Now, regarding this gentleman, it is true. Right, like, he doesn't really have the jawline that AAA games put on female characters. So what he can do is to grow a beard. In fact, if you're a man and you're in a similar situation, I strongly recommend that you actually try to grow a beard. And I understand, like some of you may want to have your skin rub against a boobie and it feels different than when you have a beard. But unfortunately, until you get a girlfriend, it is a requirement if you do not have the perfect chiseled jawline. And you also have to maintain the beard. Like, it's not enough to just grow it. You gotta maintain it, keep it, give it a life of its own. I guarantee to you, if you take Sargar of Akkad or Matt Walsh and you shave them, you will notice that the fairer sex will rate them lower on the attractiveness scale. Women use makeup, men use beards. So, if you didn't know, now you do. But this isn't why I said that the video is cruel. Because up until now, like, they complained about the person's appearance. I'm fine with that. I don't think that it is cruel, to be honest. However, it's going to get really nasty from now on.
Are you in or are you going to go to college?
I'm actually graduating this spring. I'm a third year in college.
Oh shit, so you're not that young.
You're graduating?
I am.
Definitely not getting pussy yet.
Notice the stigma for not getting pussy. Like, this is the whole vibe. We're going to come to that in a little bit.
You're too busy studying.
We hold hands. You feel nervous?
No.
How does it make you feel if I just...
Now we're going to see the most cringe thing in human existence.
You ever seen Legally Blonde? Just a little bend and snap. What's wrong?
There's no need for me to be looking down there.
I'm getting...
So I want you to notice the reaction, right? Like, look, this lady is absolutely shocked. Like, she's almost like terrified about what he did. And the reason that it's cruel, it's not that these ladies are cruel to him, it's that society is cruel to him. Like, he is doing literally everything that society teaches a man to do. He's being respectful, he is focusing on his education, he's not a womanizer. This is not the gentleman that goes on the street and wolf whistles and catcalls. Doesn't seem like the individual to make sexist jokes. And yet these women, it's not that they're not interested in him. They're mocking him in public on national television. They are humiliating him for behaving the way that he is told to behave. And I'm pretty sure that if you take these women and you give them some Jezebel articles or Guardian articles, like, correct me if I'm wrong, I may be inexperienced, but I do think that they will say, yeah, no, like, this is good, like, men shouldn't wolf whistle, men shouldn't catcall. And yet, when you have a man that genuinely behaves in the way that society dictates that men should behave, it's not that they're not interested. Again, like, that's not the issue, that's not the cruelty, because, like, it's fine. You know, you don't have to like someone. but it's like laughing at them and humiliating them in a group setting, on a viral show that everyone gets to see. His friends get to see it. His parents get to see it. It is unbelievably cruel. And this is something that I've also noticed, because if you behave the way society tells you to behave, you end up in this situation. I know so many friends of mine that either went to med school or went to law school. They got a PhD, and despite all that, they're still single. Not for the lack of trying, by the way. And the question is, how many pimps or how many gangsters do you think are single? So the problem isn't with the women, by the way. Like, you can be attracted in who you want to be. The problem is with the message that society tells men. If you follow the message, you end up potentially being ridiculed and mocked. And then everyone is surprised. Everyone is bewildered when you get Andrew Tate getting imprisoned in Romania and you have all these soy faces in Greece going out and protesting, and you notice that he's got millions of fans, and people just don't understand why that is. Why is it? And the answer is, like, a lot of men are noticing that when you actually follow what society teaches, you end up in a situation where it's not that you're single, it's that you're being humiliated constantly. People are mocking and ridiculing you. So they start to listen to some talking heads, and maybe they listen to someone that's more mainstream, more okay, someone that I would suggest, like Jordan Peterson. But then they try to cancel Jordan Peterson. They're doing their best in order to suppress him, to cancel him. So people like Jordan Peterson that actually have a reputation to maintain, and they don't want the clinical psychological association to withdraw his license and shit. They're like, okay, I get the memo, I'll shut the fuck up. And then you have like people like Andrew Tate that don't have anything to lose, and that's literally the only thing that is there. Like, you can either listen to some feminist that has daddy issues telling you how to be a man, and you put that into practice and you end up like this. Or you get to listen to a womanizer like Andrew Tate that thinks life is all about having sex with as many women as possible, driving Bugattis, smoking cigars, and teaching women how to do OnlyFans. The choices are very limited. And it creates an unhealthy society. Like, there is no middle ground. There is no person that's like, all right, well, listen, in order to be a man, you have to do this and this and that. And when you actually put into practice what is being taught, maybe you don't end up finding a significant other, but at least you wouldn't get mocked, ridiculed, and humiliated. Like, for instance, I would personally say, when I saw this incredibly cringe stuff, and like, look, if she is laughing, I would have said, sorry, I'm not interested in that. It's a little bit trashy for my tastes. I don't want to judge. I don't know how other men would respond, but I personally think that a woman should be a lady, and ladies do not show their posterior on this, especially, like, look, it's a public broadcast. I mean, my family will see it. It's not... Like, if you would have said this, oh my god, like, society would freak out, right? Like, this is not the way you're supposed to act. You're not supposed to talk like that. You're not supposed to mention that. But it would be fair game because they're mocking him as well. And him doing that, I guarantee to you, he would get respect. Probably not from the women that are here, but from the women watching 100%. And that's how you actually need to behave. But again, who's going to tell them? Who's going to tell? No one is going to tell them because it's very politically incorrect. Let me know what you guys think, though. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.